Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my reviews. This time I've got this special 7-pack. It's the DC Comics, the new 52 Superheroes vs. Supervillains action figure 7-pack. And this is also notable because it is the debut of the Catwoman figure, which fans obviously have been looking for. I'm not going to show the box because it's super big, but I'm going to read the back to you. It says, the battle between good and evil rages on. Your favorite heroes and villains come together in one 7-pack based on the smash hit DC Comics, the new 52. Features Aquaman, The Flash, Batman, Catwoman, the Joker, Captain Cold, and Black Manta. Now, there'll be a few things that I'll get into. I had to customize my Catwoman just a little bit. And I think I will go in backwards order of the least favorite to favorite. So let's get to that. First, let's go to the Black Manta. Now, I don't really read Aquaman. I don't have a problem with Aquaman, but I don't pay attention to him. I think he's a cool character to have in terms of mythology, Aquaman, but as far as Black Manta goes, I really don't know anything about him. I know that he's his primary enemy, and that's pretty much it. I think he's a guy, not a fish or anything. I don't know, actually, to tell you the truth. Anyway, so we've got this figure, which... Okay, there we go. So we see there is some pretty good details on his eyes. We've got... it looks a little bit like fly eyes. It's got, some ridges to it, some, like a honeycomb sort of design, maybe. Not sure it was necessary. I think it might have been cooler had it been cast in like a see-through red plastic, and then, the individual plastic pieces just like glued into it. I think that would, kind of give it... if this is a helmet, and I'm assuming it is, it'll give it that kind of look to it. Whereas now I feel like he can't see through his helmet, and it sort of bothers me, especially because I really don't know anything about the character. I don't know. Anyway, so he comes with a backpack with this thing that he presumably stabs people with, and it like never stays. It always falls off. So, yep. Let's see what kind of articulation he has. Shoulder articulation, upper arm, elbow, got wrist articulation, which is pretty good considering he has a little melee weapon, so that's awesome. He's got the T-crotch. He's got one knee, one joint to his knee, and we've lost. Okay, yeah. So we got just one joint to his knee and no ankle articulation. The figure is very plain, and I know this is how he looks. This is extremely boring. He has swords, which is pretty cool. I like that feature. And I'm glad that I'm going to stop reviewing this one because he's not staying in focus. I guess we'll go to the Joker next. The reason why I'm not fond of him is because I don't really like the way he looks anymore. He sure looks creepy, and I think that in itself is pretty cool. But it's not a recognizable Joker. So this is not in terms of characterization or where he ranks as a character in my mind. It's just if I were to find another Joker, a more classic looking Joker, I would immediately replace him. Replace this guy. Yeah, so he's got kind of like an orange outfit. He kind of looks like an inmate in this one. I think it's supposed to be a garage, but whatever. All these tools you can take out. They're a little bit sticky right now. In his pouch, and I'd sort of rather leave it in there because there's a couple of these that you can take out, if not all, but I really don't want to separate them right now because I know that in the future it will mean that I'll lose it. So, where it stays is where it will be. He's got shoulder articulation, he's got this type of articulation, elbow, wrist, T-crotch, one joint at the knee, and he can move his ankles out like that. I feel like it's too close, maybe. I think that was why, but whatever. Okay. Yeah, that seems more like it. Yeah, the detailing is good. There's not a lot of paint apps, but there is a black wash that, well, or more, a black wash that serves as a dirt wash to make his costume, his shirt and pants look a little bit more grimy. He's got some pretty good detail in his face. Yep. He's got dirty teeth, green eyes. He's got that thing where he cut off his own face and then reattached it. Presumably he's always in pain now. I don't know. So he strapped it to there. Green hair and everything. It's a very well made figure. Unfortunately, just like everything else from the set, it's not something that is infinitely posable. So so in other words, I would say that most of the posability that you would be doing would be upper body, because if these guys can't really kneel well, because they don't have ankle articulation, they can't really look like they're maybe running or squatting or anything. So all those are out. So basically, you're limited to any pose where the character is standing, but he can also be doing something. Like over here, he can look like he's holding on to his belt. We've got, something like he's like, what did I do? That's totally not what the Joker sounds like. And, you can also have him cheering on the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 48. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we've got that. Nice figure. It's a repaint of one that was initially released in his traditional blue color or whatever. Okay. Let's see which one we're going to do next. Whatever. You know what? We're just going to do the villains. I don't really care. Captain Cold, kind of looking bro-ish here. Maybe if they wanted to go in this direction, they could have just called him Cold Bro or something. I don't know. Not super fond of the look. I'm not sure people really do these sleeveless vest things anymore. And this this kind of hood, I don't know. The shape is sort of Megatron-ish, which is sort of cool, but I don't think that's what they're going for necessarily. It's just kind of a hood. Maybe, Assassin's Creed kind of hoodie kind of deal going on. I don't know. Anyway, I mean, every time I look at this design of a figure, I almost always feel like he should be bearing midriff here for some reason or another. Don't know why, but whatever. He's got his classic glasses on though, so that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if they've ever explained it, because I've not really been reading any sort of Flash comic, so I don't really know why he needs glasses like that, but they are very Captain Cold. Aside from that, the sculpt is obviously pretty good. The paint job is also pretty good. Fairly flawless as things can go. There's not a lot of problems that can go on with the eyes. We'll get to that later, Catwoman. In general, I find the eye placement and the eye details that are in these action figures are pretty good, except for the ladies, so I don't know what's up with that. I've almost never seen, and we'll get to that with Aquaman. You know what, so yeah, we'll just get to that. Aquaman. He's got shoulder articulation. He's got a little bit less than the guys that we've shown previous. And by the way, Black Manta only he has wrist articulation, and so does Joker, but this guy does not. So what you see is what you get. He's got shoulder, he's got upper arm, he's got elbow, and that's it. His cold fist arm is pretty awesome. It's iridescent, so it looks, there's a very unique look to it. It's also molded out of the hard plastic, so it's kind of funny because in order to really pose this guy, if you're attempting to move it by this, it sort of pokes into you. Obviously not enough to bleed, and it's not like you're going to be in pain, but it's going to be kind of sharp and prickly. I do like this look quite a bit. I think it will be even cooler because this figure was already released, and from my understanding, it's not any different from this release, except it comes with an extra accessory. the single pack release anyway. And I thought it might have been cool, maybe out of character, that maybe his other arm might have had just this iridescent painting on it. That way it looks like his other arm is also iced up. I don't know. Some fans probably gonna really disagree with that, so whatever. You know, he's got good details. He got the T-crotch. He's got, you know, one knee joint and no ankle joints. So let's look at his face. He looks pretty upset, pretty human, pretty good, I think. You know, not a huge fan of him, but I guess out of the villains that were included, with the exception of Catwoman, this would probably be the, you know, ranking higher out of all the villains or whatever. Let's get to Aquaman. Yeah, alright, so cool. As opposed to the We Can Be Heroes set, this guy is kind of like the classic Aquaman, which is the one I'm used to anyhow. The one without the sideburns or the longer hair, I think, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's a recognizable character. I've never had an Aquaman toy before, and after getting this one, I don't think I really have a need to get another one. Once again, the details in the eyes are pretty good. He's got a nice stern look there. My particular one has some cracks in the painting, but I don't really care. It doesn't really detract, especially because it's a guy. If anything, that can, you know, maybe add character. I don't know, or at least, you know, well, it only bugs you if you look at it up close. But yeah, the scales are, you know, on his suit are painted quite well. Also, we've got an iridescent paint, which is pretty awesome. We've got some detailing here, like shading detailing, to really, you know, bring out his definition. We've got shoulder, upper arm, elbow, no wrist, T-crotch, one knee, no ankle, and of course, you know, generally almost full head swivel abilities, which is pretty cool. You know, he, like most of the characters here, they can't really look up, but I think it's cooler if they had, because they can look down. So that's a pretty good kind of thing to have. He also has his trident, which I'm told this trident looks better than his the single card pack one, or the one from the We Can Be Heroes 7-pack. So that's off to the side. We can get to, I think, Barry Allen's The Flash. What really drew me to getting this Heroes and Villains set, as opposed to the We Can Be Heroes, is actually his shiny metallic suit here. At least let me think. Hold on, yeah. So the original one was not shiny, but this one is. I think for a speedster, this one looks pretty cool. There's also some yellow line detail inside his costume, which is pretty cool. It adds a new level to it. He's got, you know, he's got these familiar ear things, and I don't know. As a toy, I think the Flash looks great, shiny. As a character, I'm not sure it'll work out. That is to say that if they were to, you know, feature the Flash in a movie, or features the Flash in a comic book, I don't think his costume should be shiny, but I think as an action figure, it feels like it should be shiny, so that's pretty cool. He's got shiny boots, like most of the ones that I've already gone through: shoulder, upper arm, elbow, no wrist, T-crotch, knee, one knee, and no ankle. And again, you know, his head has pretty decent movement. Kind of look at you like that. Yeah, he's got one arm. I guess, if anything, the only thing that bothers me is they've kind of molded this arm as if he were to be running. However, the other one is not running, and he doesn't hold anything, so I don't know. It feels like there was something, you know, missing here. Not like you can really pose this thing like he's running. You know, that looks a little awkward, maybe. It doesn't look natural. I mean, I don't know, or just bad form. But yeah, so, you know, when I've got him up there, he's just kind of got his hand on his hip to attempt to take away the fact that, you know, one of his arms look like it's attempting to be an action arm when this thing is really a static figure. Minor complaint though. He can also look like he's kind of waving high at you. I mean, out of all the Justice League, he's most like Spider-Man in terms of him being kind of carefree and jolly and funny. So, you know, maybe it's not out of character for him to just be like, everybody's attempting to pose. He's just like, hey guys, I'm here. Whatever. Okay, so let's get to Batman. This is another Batman that I was looking forward to, actually, because I got the Trinity War, I think, you know, or I don't know, whatever. 3-pack with Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. And so here is the Batman, which is also coming in from the We Can Be Heroes set. Now, the thing that I didn't like was that this plastic seemed to be somewhere in between matte and shiny. I feel like you're either matte or shiny when you're Batman. You're not, you know, I know they're cast out of plastic, but, you know, I don't like to see just kind of plastic. And also, the other problem I had with this one is that his helmet, his cowl was shiny, and yet his cape was not. I felt like it needed to match, and they fixed it with this one because the way I see it, he's a nighttime character and his cowl should not be reflective, so he's got the matte Batman mask, and his you know, his cape being molded out of rubber is as matte as it can be. It's certainly not gloss. We've also got his gloves being matte and his boots being matte, and so the only thing that's, you know, metallic is his suit, and I kind of like that because you can pretend that it's some kind of armor. And honestly, you know, when he's stalking the rooftops, he's gonna have his cape over him, and that's gonna, you know, it's not gonna release, you know, if he's not gonna be shiny at that point. But if you're gonna have to see his body and his legs, and you're not a superhero, chances are he's kicking you in the face, and it really doesn't matter what he's wearing because he's already revealed himself to you. The other thing that I also like is that they've given his Batman belt more of a bronze tone rather than a gold one, which I think kind of matches better. So somehow a metallic Batman looks a little bit better, well, a lot better to me than his gray Batman. So, you know, whatever. We've got that. Once again, you know, good detail on the face. You know, it's kind of got like a helmet quality. It's not a full skull curve, so you can imagine there's some armor plating in there, or you know, whatever. Nice details, extremely nice details here. We've got the spikes as well, just like every other figure's shoulder, upper arm, elbow, no wrist, but he also doesn't come with any accessories, T-crotch and knee. Once again, the cape is flowing and long and reaches the ground, which means he's, you know, if you wanted to pose him in a kneeling position, you wouldn't be able to, even though you really can't with this type of, this particular molding. The only thing that is a little weird is that, as far as my Batman goes, his head doesn't move as much. You can sort of see me moving it that way, but then he kind of snaps back. It might be a function of just my figure, maybe molded a little bit differently. But I guess it's something to be aware about. Not anything huge, but he doesn't have the same... Oh, this one does that too. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Well, this one looks around more freely. See? And it stays... This one is not... Whatever, not a big deal. This is one of the definitive Batman that I really like. Alright, now, a longer story is with this Catwoman. Let's see. So originally, according to box art, that's how Catwoman should look. We've got green goggles. We've got, you know, kind of this raccoon style eyes, and, you know, green, whatever, green pupils, and, you know, red lipstick or whatever. The reality of it, unfortunately, was the figure was far from perfect. Let's see if we can do this here. This is not my, these are not my photos, but my Catwoman had a different problem. Anyway, so what happened was, the goggles were actually black. The eyes looked a little bit more daft than it should be. And the unique problem with mine, and mine alone, is that the left eye was considerably more far up than it should be. Let's get some technology here. I'm gonna get a photo up of her left eye. Okay, so let's see if we can. Yeah, so this is the status of my Catwoman. At this point, I already painted new lipstick on her, but you can see that one eye's higher than the other by sort of a significant amount, and so you can already see that I've begun attempting to erase certain parts of her eyeliner or whatever. in an effort to paint on a new eye. Painting on a new eye didn't work out because I couldn't match the whites of her eyes, no matter how much I tried. But anyway, so let's take a look at this figure. Overall, really awesome Catwoman figure. I would say that this is one of the more definitive Catwoman figures that they've released. The joints are not as visible as some of the Catwomans that they released before, and it is, you know, a very feminine kind of pose. There's quite a lot of detail here, and you know, it matches the style of all these guys. So you'll see here, we've got her skin-tight costume with the zipper halfway pulled down. We've got a arch of her back. We've got nice molding here. The paint is very latexy, so that's pretty cool. We've got matte black boots with little straps here. The details are pretty amazing. There, we've got, you know, we've got the laces and everything. We spent quite a bit of time just on the detail of her boots, which is pretty awesome. No under boot detail, whatever, that's fine. But it, you know, from the side it looks like there is, but from the bottom, I don't know. I didn't understand it, but I was like, yeah, whatever. One of her arms is kind of doing that, you know, cat scratch thing. The other one is to hold her whip, which is somewhere actually. There it is. Constantly coiled up. Not that cool. I mean, it's pretty cool to have, but, you know, it's not an anti-action pose, so what are you going to do? Let's see here. More of the details here. It's, you know, pretty nice. We've got, you know, the definition of her jacket there. So, we get to the face. You'll see that if you're paying attention to just the whites of her eyes, you can tell that one eye is still higher than the other. But what I've had to do is just put in a lot of black eyeliner, kind of giving her more of the raccoon eyes that the back of the box had, in an effort to hide the fact that one eye was significantly higher than the other. I've also kind of darkened her lipstick. Normally I didn't have to mess with it. Unfortunately, the white paint app, which because she had a bit of an open mouth, the white paint app that stood for her teeth was cracked and chipped, and it looked really awkward, so I just had to paint over the entire thing like this. Whether or not it looks good is a different story. I don't know. I think it looks okay. I can deal with this level of paint job, even though I'm no professional or anything. What I've also took the liberty of doing is painting in her goggles. I've gave it a blue tint. I would have liked to give it a yellow one, but I couldn't mix a proper metallic yellow. So we've got this metallic blue anyway. So that's pretty cool. These goggles can be removed. So that's pretty cool. But they don't. But as goggles, they actually don't look very good on the character when she's wearing them, because they look a lot more like sunglasses, because they are tad small. See if we can show you here. So there. Yeah. So you can see it looks a lot more like sunglasses than goggles, I think. If they were a tad bigger, maybe see the width of the frame. If it was just the top, if they added one more level to it, it might have looked less like sunglasses, but it looks a lot like sunglasses right now. So I'm not crazy about having it down. So yeah, so it's just going to be permanently up there, whatever. It does seem like a very soft, delicate plastic that they've molded this out of, so I kind of don't want to move it up and down all that much anyway. So yeah, so we've got that. Also, the back of her head is, you know, whatever, you know, it's shaped like a whatever. It's, you know, good side to side movement. There is upward movement, but barely, but no downward. So that's pretty disappointing. As far as character goes, let's see. We got shoulder, upper arm, elbow, wrist, T-crotch, one knee, and what can be passed as ankle articulation. It's more like upper calf, but, you know, whatever. Well, I mean, it is upper calf, but the effect is that it's given her the ability to have a pivoting ankle. So, you know, overall, I can't say that I'm upset with this set, especially because I managed to snag it off Amazon for $62, which is pretty awesome. You know, so as far as it goes, and my GLA collection that I just wanted to start up because I never had one, I feel it's going pretty good. I bought the Trinity War, which gave me Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, and then this set netted me the Aquaman and the Flash. So I'm nearly there. All I have to pick up is a Green Lantern. Because right now I only have White Lantern, which was like New York Comic Con exclusive or something, and you know, Martian Manhunter or whatever. And then, you know, from there on it'll be pretty complete. So you know, I would say that this is definitely a pack that is worth picking up. Personally, I don't like to spend more than $10 per figure. Because I think $20 gets into the range where, because, you know, I only use these things as a statue, basically. I don't actually really play with them. I take them out of the box and I put them on my shelf. Having, you know, 5 figures for $20 each, or even $25, which is the retail for some of these guys, feels like I could have just bought a video game or, you know, a new hard drive or something where I would get more use out of it. But for 10, I would say for $10 to $13, these are a great deal. So I mean, a 7-pack, even if you pick it up for $85, I would say definitely go for it. Unfortunately, you're likely only to find those kind of prices online, which is unfortunate because then that means that you're playing Russian roulette with you know, figure quality. So if you believe that, you know, you want to pick up this set for $100 from your local comic book store, and if the paint apps are pretty good and you don't have a problem with it, I would say even that would be worth it, because then you don't have to waste your time like me kind of trying to paint in the face and everything. I do like these figures. Unfortunately, if it's a type of thing where you want to get a lot of posability out of it, you may want to look elsewhere. But if you don't mind just, you know, displaying it on your shelf, these are definitely the way to go.